Yeah. Ms. De Castro will ask questions.
I just want to go back to Section 9, where the Congress declared that hormonal contraceptives, intrauterine devices, and injectables are safe. And then we go now to the provision on Section 23 on prohibited acts. Since the law now already declares that hormonal contraceptives, etc., are safe, there is a gag order on all doctors, whether public or private, to say that these type of contraceptives are not safe. Because under the law, they will be subjected to criminal prosecution. They cannot anymore advise their patient that they should not take this type of contraceptives because the law already declares that they are safe and they will be liable for criminal prosecution if they contradict that.
I respectfully disagree, Your Honor. I think a physician can advise his or her client that in his or her opinion, despite what the FDA says, contraceptives are not safe.
But
that's the freedom of a physician, Your Honor.
But
I don't think that is covered by the penal provision.
No, but it says here a health care service provider, whether public or private, cannot give incorrect information regarding the programs and services on reproductive health. And since the law already say that hormonal contraceptives and other devices mentioned in the law are safe, no doctor should contradict that because they will be liable for criminal prosecution. That is how I understand the law. So this is dangerous, very dangerous to all doctors.
With respect, we do not read the law to be that, Your Honor.
But that seems to be the plain
no, Your Honor,
law.
I believe the penal provisions have to do with health workers and health physicians in government service trying to block universal access to drugs or information. Again, you know, this will be taken up in the portion on speech in view of the conscientious objector provisions of the law, Your Honor.
That is your interpretation, but I'd like also to cite another provision of the law regarding the availability of contraceptives to minors. A doctor will also be liable for criminal prosecution if he wants to make sure that there is parental consent to the use of contraceptive by a minor. That will be the implication of the law, which penalizes anyone who will ask for a written consent from a minor who wants access to contraceptives. Isn't that diluting parental authority?
No, Your Honor. We read it precisely to complement parental authority. Precisely that is why parental, you ask the teenager whether he or she has the consent of the parent.
But if he says yes, and since the doctor cannot require any proof, it is as if that consent is no longer necessary. That will be the implication of that provision.
With respect, Your Honor, that will be in the implementation of the law to be covered by the IRR.
You think that is nothing? There is nothing wrong with that?
No, Your Honor. With respect, not in principle.
Well, again, that's your opinion. Now, like to raise another point. Do you have any statistics on what caused maternal mortality?
I would not have, Your Honor, and with respect, that will be taken up by Senator Pia Cayetano.
Okay, so just to go ahead of that
yes, sure.
presentation by the good senator, I just want to know if maternal mortality is caused by pregnancy per se, or there are other causes.
I do not believe so, Your Honor, but without prejudice to what Senator Cayetano later will say, the RH law prevents maternal deaths. That's the purpose of the RH law.
Pregnancy causes...
No, the RH law is envisioned to prevent maternal deaths.
And it does not flow from the proposition that pregnancy itself causes maternal death?
No, Your Honor. The proposition is that if you make contraceptives universally available, especially to the poor and to the disadvantaged, then you prevent, number one, unwanted pregnancies. And if you prevent unwanted pregnancies, I think the statistics will show you also prevent maternal deaths, because there is a correlation between unplanned pregnancies and maternal deaths. That's the logic, Your Honor, as far as I can express it without the statistics.
You use the argument that we cannot generalize when we say that contraceptives are not safe. But you are also making a generalization that pregnancy is not good. And it must be prevented before it occurs. Is that the logic of your...
The proposition, what we say is the Congress would like to prevent unwanted pregnancies. Unwanted.
And how do you relate that to the health of the mother? Is it for family planning or is it for the health of the mother?
It's for the health of the mother, Your Honor.
It's for the health of the mother. Is pregnancy an illness which must be prevented?
No, Your Honor, because health is not just about illness. In fact, I agree with you. Pregnancy is not an illness.
Would you say now that it's more for family planning, as it is mentioned in Section 9, rather than for the promotion of the health of the mother?
With respect, Your Honor, no, it's not family planning. It's the health of the mother.
But that is what Section 9 says.
Section 9 says make contraceptive drugs and devices universally accessible.
Because they are effective family planning products and supplies. That is what the law says.
Because the Congress made a judgment that if you make contraceptive drugs and devices and information and services universally available, then you prevent all of these ills, unwanted pregnancies, teen pregnancies, and you thereby improve maternal health.
Pregnancy per se is not harmful to the health of a woman.
Yes, Your Honor.
That is not that, because that is a normal function of a woman.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you cannot say that the distribution of contraceptives are good to the health of a woman, because there's nothing wrong with being pregnant. If you're a healthy woman, that's part of your bodily function as a woman.
You're right, Your Honor. And the Congress recognizes that. All the Congress is saying is make these devices and drugs available and information so that women can make choices. For example, do they want a pregnancy now or they want a pregnancy later? Will they want to space their children? And so, if you make information available, especially to the poor, they can say, I can get married now, but I may postpone childbearing. So, that is all that the law is doing. And that's why, Your Honor, we keep saying, these contraceptives have been available for the past 50 years, but who can afford them? The wealthy. All that the RH law did is, the Congress says, we recognize maternal deaths as ills of society. How do we remedy that? Make this available so that women who are well informed may postpone marriage, have less children, and if they have less children, the women can go join the workforce. If they can join the workforce, they are more effective. There are less children to feed, there is less pressure on the economy. Now, all of these, Your Honors, are judgment calls of the Congress. They may be right or they may be wrong. What we're saying is, it is not for the court to supplant a policy decision of the Congress, and one may disagree, but the laws we have is, in areas like this, the wisdom, is this the right way to do it? The wisdom of the law, that's for the Congress, that's for the elected political branches to make, Your Honor.
We're not going into the wisdom of the law. We're looking at it in relation to the provisions of the Constitution on the right of the mother to health and the right of the unborn from the time of conception. That's how we are trying to understand this provision of the law. We're not thinking about the wisdom of the law. Now, you mentioned informed consent. No, the rich would have the advice of a OB-GYN
Yes, Your
if
Honor.
they will take contraceptives or not. What
Yes.
about the poor, whom you said are the main target of this law, the poor who cannot afford effective medical advice and contraceptive devices? But will they have that same opportunity to understand, to have that informed consent, to know what is good or bad for them?
Yes, Your Honor. That is
How do we have enough doctors in our government hospitals?
that is the principal purpose of the law, Your Honor, to enable the poor women to have access to information, Your Honor, so that if the information given is you have a menu of things that you can do, natural, contraceptive, then they can make an informed choice. And so if they say, yes, we will take this, there is the government-supplied doctor, Your Honor. We may, I don't know whether we have enough doctors, maybe not. But again, the Congress is trying, Your Honor. And if we are short of doctors, the fact that we are short of doctors is not a reason not to allow the government to try its best. And with the present complement of doctors, they may not be as well paid as our gynecologists in Makati, but they will be able slowly, however, as a start, to give information so that the poor women can arrive at an informed choice.
The informed choice can only be given by a OB-GYN, because, you know, if a woman consults an OB-GYN, the doctor will get the medical history of the family of the woman, will see to it that the person is given medical blood chemistry to find out if a particular type of contraceptive is suitable to that particular woman who is to be given, or to whom a type of contraceptive is to be prescribed. Will our poor will have this type of diagnosis before they are given contraceptives?
That is the dream of the RH law, Your Honor. Make this available to the poor. Now, whether or not what is made available to them will be the same sophisticated advice that a highly paid gynecologist in Makati will give, the government, the court, we should allow the government to try. We have government doctors and they're trying their best and they are out there in the field. They may not be many, but that's the call of Congress, Your Honor.
Going now to the accessibility of the contraceptives, not only to married persons but also to individuals. I came across during my travels to one country, I will not mention what country that is, where abortion is legal. If you are married and you want an abortion, you have it for free. But if you are unmarried, you have to pay for abortion. Here, you do not make a distinction whether you're married or you're an unmarried, a single person, you will be indiscriminately given access to contraceptives. Is this consistent with our moral values? Don't we? Is it? And what is the public purpose for which the government is spending money for individuals to prevent them? What I'm saying is for unmarried individuals to have access to contraceptives which are funded by the government using public funds. What public purpose will be served by that provision of the law?
The public purpose, Your Honor, is to enable all the married women, especially the poor.
The law does not apply only to married persons. It applies to individuals,
I mean,
as distinguished from married persons. So what is the rationale or the basis for this accessibility of contraceptives to even unmarried persons?
Because, Your Honor, an unwanted pregnancy is an unwanted pregnancy. And a maternal death is a maternal death, whether or not the woman is married or not. And so I believe the Congress recognizes that there are women who engage in the act but are not married. And so, again, this is a judgment call of the Congress. And I can argue, Your Honor, that especially perhaps with the underprivileged, the poor, the uneducated, the more that, the poor don't even bother to get married, then they have children, Your Honor. So those are ills that the Congress, I believe, should be given the leeway by this honorable court.
That not be promoting immorality?
That is arguable, Your Honor, and I believe the good senators and the good congressmen also thought of that. And as I keep saying, at the end of the day, they have to make a judgment call. Are they correct? We do not know. But did they act in grave abuse of discretion? If we grant that they are right-thinking men and they are for the good of the country, I'm sure this was debated. Does it promote promiscuity? But again, an unwanted pregnancy is an unwanted pregnancy, and these are wisdom calls, Your Honor. So I beg the Honorable Court, give the Congress the leeway.
It's not about wisdom. The Constitution mentions many times moral values that should be promoted by government. So it's not a matter of wisdom, but it's a matter of constitutional law.
Well, I believe in the calibration of whether making contraceptives available to unmarried women is a matter of call that the Congress has leeway, Your Honor.
Last question. After hearing what should I say, presentation of Justice Abad, it occurred to me that based on the report of the WHO, they are still researching on male methods of contraception. I'm raising this in connection with the substantive equality between men and women. Do you know why the pharmaceutical companies have not developed a type of contraceptive that will prevent the production of sperm?
I would not know, Your Honor.
Why is it that they have focused only on the prevention of ovulation, the prevention of production of eggs or ova? Why didn't they study also with the same vigor the possibility that if they really want to stop conception, they should also take into account the partner of the woman. And why should the woman be the one to take contraceptives every day, which some experts would say are harmful to the health of a woman?
I have no answer.
So you do not know?
I do not know, Your Honor.
maybe all these pharmaceutical companies are dominated by male scientists. So that's